All right, man. What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video on the channel, man. All right, so let's get this Packers season preview over with. I shut my trap for so long about this team, and here I am making another season preview, or season review, on the Packers season, as we just lost to the Philadelphia Eagles 22-10. All right, so let's get this done. Let's get this misery over and done with, man. The Packers have finished this season with 11-6. We are, I believe, 5-1 against our division rivals. We lost both to our rivals, the Lions and the Vikings, and we lost our last game to the Chicago Bears. Why Matt LaFleur and the team decided to start our starters in the last game, I don't know. I want to assume that it's because it's a divisional game. That's why we started our starters in week 18. But nonetheless, right? 11-6, 5-1 against our division rivals, like I mentioned, and we lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, like I said. What can I say? I think we started off really rough in the I want to say in the beginning of the season, right? As soon as Jordan Love got hurt, ironically, against the Philadelphia Eagles in Brazil, most of us thought that it was over and done with. Our season is wraps. But, you know, Malik Willis started as our backup, 2-1. I want to also give a shout out to him because with Jordan Love being out, he really balled out. I'm happy that he thrived in our organization as a backup. I'm assuming that some teams are going to call him up and have him as a starter, maybe in a team like the Raiders or the Browns, maybe, depending on the Deshaun Watson thing. I'm really happy for him. So shout out to Malik Willis. He did carry us afloat while Jordan Love was out. I don't know if he started against the Vikings in the first matchup or Jordan Love, but nonetheless, right? A very good start. And I think ever since Jordan Love came back, we really picked it up. We had a 4-game winning streak, lost to the Lions. You know, that game really pissed me off because it's the Lions out of all teams, right? But yeah, we really picked it up, and we lost to the Lions. We picked it up back again with a 3-game win streak, and ironically lost to the Lions again. My main concern about this team is the fact that we didn't beat any playoff teams, right? And what I mean by that is I'm not saying that, you know, of course you guys can say we beat the Rams and we beat the Texans. The Texans are, without a doubt, one of the best teams in the AFC. They're 4th in the conference, and they are the winning championships in the AFC. They are the winning champions in the AFC South. But we lost to not only our division rivals, but we also lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, who are, I believe, 2nd in the conference, right? Now, granted, I wasn't expecting us to beat every playoff team. I would have expected us to beat the Lions and the Vikings, at least be tied 1-1. But I think the fact that we lost to them, like we absolutely got swept by them, it really just blows my mind. And at the same time, we're very young, but we also have a very competent team that could win us games. We really beated teams that I don't want to say are bad, but mediocre at best, or fringe playoff teams. A team like, the Miami Dolphins, or I don't want to say the 49ers because they were pretty much injury prone, but a team like the Seahawks maybe, right? They were a fringe playoff team. I expected us to beat teams like that, but that's what I was really wanting us to do, is to beat really good playoff teams like the Lions and the Vikings and the Eagles, even though we faced them off once and it was only week 1. But I don't know. It was really just an underwhelming season. I think the game that really pissed me off the most was it was either the Vikings in the second matchup or it was the Lions in the second matchup. And I don't know. Those games really pissed me off because we couldn't get no points on the board. If not, I think I think it was the Lions that really pissed me off that game, because we was really playing to the thing that really surprised me about that game was that we played to our opponent's level. And I think the fact that, once again, we were on a 3-game win streak. This was the same team that broke our 4-game win streak this season. And the fact that we played at their level and we didn't take advantage of it, that game really just pissed me off. And it doesn't, the worst part about it is there were so many injuries on that Lions team, and we still couldn't get the job done. I think, who was it? Was it Aiden Hutchinson that was out? You know what I mean? There was a whole lot of starters that were pretty much injured in that game, and we still couldn't get the job done. That game really pissed me off. But anyway, I think overall our offense was pretty mediocre. Josh Jacobs really, I don't want to say he carried, but he did his part. That's why we got him in free agency. That's why we needed him in our offense. I don't want to talk about Christian Wood. I damn sure don't want to talk about Romeo Doubs. Those guys, to me, are just, they really pissed me off, man. And, part of me just really wants to just trade those two guys. Christian Watson is so injury prone, man. He has his moments, but he is so injury prone, and I'm tired of. I don't want to say he's our number one. I think Jaden Reed is really our number one option. He's fast. He's good on slant routes. He's good on go routes. He can really catch the ball. Christian Watson, he's good as well. But at the same time, he can also be injury prone. And Romeo Doubs, he's just hit and miss, man. I can't tell you how many times. Maybe Packers fans, you guys can maybe agree with me on that. But there's so many times where Jordan Love throws the ball to Romeo Doubs, and it's just either he catches it or he doesn't catch it. It's kind of like you have to pray that he can catch it. You know what I mean? And it's especially during crucial games when we're down, but when we really need him at the most, right? And shout out to Tucker Kraft, shout out to Luke Musgrave as well. Those guys have been doing their job as well. Devontae Wicks, he was good, even though I don't think he started us. I don't think he start during most of those games, but they all played their part. But it's mainly just Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs that really just frustrate me. And Jordan Love, I think it was good overall. The defense was really good. Rashawn Gary, who obviously had one of the best years in his career so far. Also, shout out to Xavier McKinney. Those two are without a doubt the breakout stars on the defense, especially Xavier McKinney. I think what he did for us was really tremendous. 8 interceptions. I also believe he's a first-team All-Pro this year. Congrats to him. Shout out to him. I also believe he's a Pro Bowl along with Rashad Gary. And also shout out to Josh Jacobs. He's been, I think without Josh Jacobs, he really, I don't think this team would have gotten off this far, especially, the amount of yards he's got, the amount of carries he's got and stuff like that. Yeah, those 3 guys are specifically my breakout stars for the offense and the defense. Jordan Love, even though he has been injury prone for earlier in the season, but he picked it up yet again. And that's another thing before I get on to Jordan Love, is that we scored, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe we scored 80 points against the Dolphins and the 49ers, and against another team I can't think of off the top of my head, during that 3-game winning streak before we lost to the Lions, right? We really did play so good, and I think after that elbow injury that Jordan Love got against the Bears, right? I think he just, I don't know. I think he really was just a little, I don't want to say scared, but he was a little worried to not injure himself again. I just expect better from Jordan Love, right? The amount of money that we got in him, and the contract that he has, being the highest paid quarterback in the league. I hope that this is just a one-season thing, whereas next season we can turn around and Jordan Love can actually blossom into the great quarterback that we have potential of him seeing, right? With the likes of Brett Favre, and Brett Favre passing his talents down to Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love sitting and watching and getting mentored by Aaron Rodgers, right? And now he's on his own, where I think he has enough knowledge to really be the best quarterback, maybe not in the NFL, but in the NFC. I really do believe that. And I think the contract that we give him just shows how much faith we have in him and how much we can trust him to take us to the promised land. Maybe not this year, possibly next year or the year after that. I just hope that, this season was just a bump in the road. Maybe we can get some free agency. I've been hearing some guys that we might get. Mind you, this is Packers fans talking, not really actual reports. But I'm hearing we might get a guy like DK Metcalf. I'm hearing we might get a guy like Deebo Samuel. I don't know. I think we do need help in the wide receiver position. I do believe we need help also in the defensive end position, and maybe possibly in the linebacker position. Get Rashad Gary some help, because the secondary, I think, is already good as it is with Jair Alexander and Xavier McKinney. Although I do have my worries about Jair, because he's starting to get up there as far as injury-prone wise. But nonetheless, our secondary is stellar. I think we just need help in the linebacker position and the defensive position, and give our players some help, right? But like I said, overall, Jordan Love, he has a 63.1 completion percentage, over 3,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. Pretty average as far as his career goes. He does have this gunslinger. Look, I've never watched Brett Favre, right? But I talked to a whole lot of OGs that say that, Brett Favre was, He it's still fuck Brett Favre to this day. But as far as being a Packer, right? He's the last gunslinger. He's considered one of the best QBs in that generation. He likes to throw a lot of touchdowns and a whole lot of interceptions. And Aaron Rodgers, I don't think was that. But you're seeing a lot of that in Jordan Love where, sometimes he can throw godly Hail Mary plays and expect someone like a Jaden Reed or a Christian Watson to catch it over, like, I don't know, two defenders or something like that. But, you guys get the point what I'm trying to say. But overall, season was pretty good as far as record-wise. The free agents really broke out this year as far as this season. I hope they, keep it up going forward. I hope Jordan Love steps it up. And overall, it was just a really it was just a really underwhelming season. I hope next year that we can beat our division rivals, especially the Lions. I don't know how Packers fans feel, but I'm mostly a Lions hater. Some Packers fans are Bears haters, and I get that because of our history, but I'm more of a Lions hater. The Vikings are second, and then it comes to the Bears. But I want to beat those. I would actually want to beat the playoff teams, the teams that are really playoff contenders, like the Lions and the Vikings, and also a team like the Eagles, of course. That's what I expect next season, and I hope next season we can do better. But overall, pretty mediocre, and that's pretty much about it. So until then, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.